Good morning, everybody, or in some cases, good afternoon or good evening, depending on where you're at and what time you're watching this video, I guess. So, look, I've been doing a lot of reading of different articles about Vietnam, trying to get, some more information that would give us some kind of idea of where Vietnam is heading as an economy. Also, to see if there's any kind of information out there that will give us an idea of what's going to happen to the Vietnam Dong. And the truth of the matter is, the more I read, the more I'm starting to realize that Vietnam's really in a great place. And if anything, they might be one of the first currencies to change. Okay. And we'll go over all that here in a minute. But first of all, I want to just reach out to everybody and say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, because Pimpy's Investment Chat now has reached 5,000 subscribers, and I did it in less than 3 months, and I appreciate it. I couldn't have done this without everybody. So I just wanted to quickly just celebrate 5,000 subscribers and say thank you to everybody who has subscribed to the channel. I will continue to do my best to bring you great content, stuff that you can learn from, and hopefully feel positive about. All right. So again, thank you. It's because you this is possible, and I wanted to say thank you. Okay, so again, real quick on the markets. Look, at as usual, I told you this is why you don't want to invest with your emotions. Cryptocurrencies are on a run again, and they're going up. This is good news, of course. Like I said, I bought a ton of XRP cryptos when it was down to 13 cents, and some of them when they were almost at 11 cents. So it's starting to rise up a little bit. It's not like it's overwhelming anything, but I anticipate seeing the huge growth in cryptocurrencies with Bitcoin halving coming up. All right, just a quick reminder, if you have not joined Pippy's investment chat group, I encourage you to do so. Since last night, another almost 131 subscribers or followers had joined Pimpy's investment chat. Inside this Facebook group, you will find all kinds of information regarding the Iraqi dinar, the Vietnam dong, of course, and cryptocurrencies, as well as gold, silver, and other investments. So people have a lot of great articles in here they've been posting. There's a lot of news articles in here. So if you have the time, you want to come through here and just kind of read for yourself and see what's going on out there in our Iraqi dinar and Vietnam dong communities. There's also people posting other information about other currencies. I mean, it's sparse, but it's here and there, but it's worth looking into. Okay. All right, so let's kind of move on to what's going on in Vietnam, because, like I said, I was reading a lot of positive articles, but this is very interesting, and that is China has been showing up with escort vessels inside the Vietnam's harbors, and they're not happy about this. So they have reached out to oppose its repeat serious violations and demand the country withdraw its survey vessel group and escort ships out of Vietnam territorial waters, the Foreign Ministry spokesperson said. Hang made the statement while answering reporters' queries regarding the return of survey vessels. All right, so China has, for the past 20 years, have just been doing whatever the hell they felt like, as their economy continued to blow up since the United States had sold out to China. And we won't talk about which political Democrats party that is that did that. Okay, so anyways, let's just, okay. So you'd be amazed. Somebody did, and I wish I would have grabbed it, but somebody did a write-up on the number of Democrats that are invested in stock over in China. It blew my mind. Don't get me wrong. There was 3 Republicans on there, and there were Rhino Republicans, of course, including Paul Ryan, who's no longer in there. Mitch McConnell, I think, was one of the other ones, and then the person's name who will not be mentioned for Q followers. You know who I'm talking about. But this explains why you see a lot of these people complaining when Trump wanted to redo the trade agreements, because they're losing out on a lot of money. But let's not get too far into the politics. The point is, China has been bullying people all over the South China Sea for some time, and that includes against sovereign nations like Vietnam, who, are not under the control of China, okay? And basically, this kind of been pushing their will on people. This is happening in a lot of ports. You could do a research on countries that borrow money from China who could not pay it back, and you could see what China's done. They have forced these countries to allow China to open naval bases in their biggest and most heavily used harbors. So what it does is basically it intimidates anybody trying to do business coming in and out of all these different countries. They've created man-made islands, China has, all over the South Pacific Sea against the United States, telling them don't do that. So, but now that economically China is hurting, they can't afford to keep up all these things, and they're starting to lose their grasp on a lot of countries and those countries that owe money as well. So, anyways, I thought this was interesting that, hey, Vietnam's like, hey, buzz off. We don't want you around here. We don't need you around here. So much for their relationship. I'm sure it's not going to fit them. It's not going to affect them in any way, shape, or form as far as business is concerned. I said this in a video before that Vietnam is China's China. Is there China? Okay, so anyways, so they send a lot of materials China does over to Vietnam to be done for them. Anyways, let's get down to some of this other good news. So this article is talking about the 25-year anniversary of bilateral diplomatic relations between the United States and Vietnam. So I won't go read the whole thing, but let's just look at part of this real quick. The partnership between Vietnam and the United States today is very broad and deep. We are cooperating in many fields such as security, trade, energy, and health, which is certainly one of the most promising parts of this whole relationship. So it goes on here to look at the type of business. The economic ties between the United States and Vietnam are incredibly strong, and we are really excited because if you look back at 25 years, our trade was almost zero. So what they're saying is this: look, free trade is Trump's goal. It should not be one-sided where country is making a lot of money. As a matter of fact, that's what these new trade agreement policies that are coming out. There's these 3 criteria, and one of them is you can't hold an unfair trade balance. In other words, the United States can't be in debt to your country past a certain dollar level. It has to stay within a margin. And if so, then there's an imbalance in the trade agreements, and Trump ain't having it. So he's been wanting to slap on penalties and tariffs to make sure that it's fair. But anyway, so yeah, it's almost zero. And today, our annual bilateral trade amounts to $77 billion. The exports to Vietnam were up 13% from last year to almost 11 billion. But at the same time, the trade deficit has grown substantially as well because Vietnam's exports to the United States have grown so rapidly. There you go. So that's a good thing for us people who hold Vietnam dong. As long as the trade balance seems to be a little bit one-sided, the trade deficit, that means in order for that to be fixed, what does Vietnam have to do? Just go ahead and say it out loud. That's right. They have to increase their rate. They can't have an uncompetitive, manipulated, lower exchange rate on their currency. It makes it unfair to do trade with other countries, especially the United States. As we all know, April 6th is coming up. A lot of people are asking me on April 6th, do you think everything's going to change? Well, we know the new rules go into effect on April 6th. But what I don't know is how many of these countries are just going to snap to it and all of a sudden magically change their rate on that date. Is that possible? Sure, it's possible. Is that going to happen? Not likely. But just what's going to happen is you're going to see a quick, gradual changing in the way we do trades with some of these people, and some of them are going to have to change their currency because I don't know what the penalty is if by April 6th they have not made their changes. I know May of every year, the United States does an evaluation of the trade and balances and deficits with other countries to see which ones are manipulating their currencies to decide what they're going to do. Now, having said that, April 6th is the new rules. The following month is May when they do their evaluations. It's not impossible to think that sometime within that 1 month frame, we're going to see a lot of changes happening to a lot of people's currencies, okay? That's very realistic, okay? Let's just put it that way. So this is a good report, and I'll leave the link to it. But basically all it's saying is that the relationship between the United States and Vietnam has been strong for the past 25 years, and it's going to continue to grow. This, of course, is good news for those individuals who hold on to the Vietnam dong, okay? Okay, so let's go over here. This is another great sign. Another great sign for the growth of a country is look at their real estate. So over here is talking about the demand for large offices space is increasing. The demand for these larger what they have them classified as grade A and grade B. So large office space and improved connectivity will be the high demand in coming years, according to the market research. Okay, in report forecasting trends in the Vietnamese real estate market, JLL said that office space remains a hot commodity. This is great news. This is the stuff that you want to see. This is the kind of stuff we want to see in Iraq. You know, we want to see reports like this. So, of course, as companies continue to grow and they continue to grow, monetarily, they need to get bigger office spaces. That's a great sign that there's growth happening within the country. These are the types of things that we want to see. Rental rates in grade A and B buildings have increased, supported by strong demand and higher rental rates in newer office developments. Tenants are struggling to find bigger space because this is a good sign. Tenants are struggling to find bigger space because in the current market, only one grade A building and 10 grade B buildings can provide contiguous space large enough for 100 square meters. Is that right? Square meters, not foot? That seems awfully... Oh, no. Okay, so that's a little bit bigger. Okay, the researcher said. Okay. So the demand for a large office space will accelerate in the next few years. That's a good sign. These are the types of things that I look for in articles. I know they don't have anything that says specifically Vietnam Dong, Vietnam Dong. But when I go out and I read my articles, I'm looking for things that give me some kind of idea of what's going to happen to the future of this country. And of course, it directly affects their currency. And for the past couple of months, and I went back and read a ton of articles, trying to find something about the Vietnam Dong. But instead, I found articles like this that just show me there's a lot of positive movement happening within Vietnam. Okay, this is a great thing for us. It really is. And look, we all are anticipating something's going to happen to these currencies in 2020. And I know a lot of you are going, well, we were anticipating these things happening in the last few years. But Vietnam, it just continues to grow and expand thanks to the poor relationship and the trade war between the United States and China. This really benefited Vietnam, and I think you're going to see that there's no way they can avoid not increasing their rate. It's just going to make it harder because they continue to grow at such a rapid rate. They have no choice but to increase it. To what rate, I have no idea, but we'll soon find out. All right. Anyways, once again, thanks everybody. I have reached 5,000 subscribers. I'm very excited about that. I woke up this morning and saw it, and I thought, oh, wow, that's unbelievable, man. In just under 3 months, we've already reached 5,000 subscribers. All right. So, again, thank you from the bottom of my heart, and I really appreciate you guys tuning in. I know there are other channels that you could be watching, but you guys choose to come watch mine, and it's greatly appreciated. All right. Anyways, you have a good day, and I'll try to get some more information as I continue to read and hopefully bring you some great news. All right, you have a great day. Bye.